Today's presentation from the Black and White Group is by Roshan Razeek, traveling in black and white. So Roshan is a fairly newcomer to PSSL. He's joined in 2018 and he has a keen interest in nature, travel and black and white photography. So he'll be showcasing some of his travel photographs today. Roshan, over to you.
Thank you. Good evening, everyone. Thanks for joining. Okay, my name is Roshan Razeek. I've been traveling. I have a passion in traveling and photography. Like Ranmali mentioned, I joined PSSL in 2018. Of course, after joining PSSL with the support of most of these colleagues, especially Shamini, Ravi, Ranmali, Romesh, the support of everyone, I improved my photography a lot. So I would like to share and then I joined the PSSL Black and White Photography Group, because initially I was not into black and white. So it was an inspiration, like, after joining the PSSL through the work of Romesh, Ranmali, and all these black and white photos. That's when I realized, I should move into black and white photography as well. So today I'm going to present, it's my genre is travel. So what I'm trying to do is share my travel experience in black and white. So these are a collection of photographs for the past few years. From few countries I traveled, selected photos. Mainly, today I'm trying to focus on landmarks. So it's to begin with, it's going to be a walk along the landmarks. A few selected countries and selected landmarks. So it's going to be a different experience for you all guys, because it's not seriously street photography. It's kind of a travel photography. So I hope you guys enjoy this. Okay, so to begin with, I'll start with India. So when you talk about India, I think Taj Mahal is a place which you can, which is important in India. I mean, which is an important landmark in India. Now, this particular photograph is right behind Taj Mahal. This is the Yamuna River. Now, what I do is I normally wherever I travel, I'm an early bird, so I normally grab my camera very early in the morning. So by 6 o'clock, even before sunrise, I normally get out onto the streets. So this was around 6 o'clock, because the Taj Mahal opens at I think 7 o'clock or something. So I had about 1 hour to spend around. So I walked behind Taj Mahal, where you see this Yamuna River. So these guys, the boat rider, I think they were some tourists were crossing the river from the other side of the river. So it was in December, and it's 2018. I think it's 2018. It's not only fog; it was smog, because a lot of smoke was there during that time. A lot of pollution. So even the visibility was like very much less. So this I could only see the boat and the passengers. So I thought of taking that shot. So this photo was nothing edited. It's just a little bit cropped. No Photoshop, nothing done. So this made it interesting, because this concept was like a minimization, like a minimal component, only one component, and the entire place looks empty, white, covered with the fog. So this is Yamuna River, and this yeah, in I think the 62nd PSSL competition, I submitted this photo, and this got an acceptance as well. And of course, it's Taj Mahal. Now, this is also, once again, this is very early in the morning, less crowded. So that's why, otherwise by 8 o'clock, 9 o'clock, it's like, jam packed. Even at this time, there are a few foreigners. Now, I just wanted, I mean, you normally see the Taj Mahal photograph. I just wanted to frame it with this foliage. This was once again early in the morning, a lot of smog. So I think there's a bit of noise. So this I framed it with the trees around. Again, now once again this particular, I mean, since it's very early when and the light is very dull because of the fog, it I think it gave a very good contrast between the tree and the structure, and the foreground, the midground, and the background is of course blank because of the fog. And this is once again, there was a location little away from Taj Mahal, an old abandoned building, which I managed to sneak through. It was a restricted area, of course.
Roshan,
Yes.
sorry to interrupt. I think there are some people waiting in the waiting room.
Okay. Oh, sorry. Okay. Oh, sorry. I didn't mean to. Okay. Okay.
Yes, they are in.
Okay, so now this is I managed to stick through the friends, of course, with the help of a local. So this is away from the little far from Taj Mahal on a hill, and this photograph, nothing edited. This is like, the image is very fade. Even the visibility of the river is very fade. It's because of the smoke and fog early in the morning. And of course, the photo has, I mean, I didn't crop it. I didn't crop the image as well, because there is this noise because of the high ISO, and the noise caused by high ISO, and also the smoke and the fog. I left it as it is because I didn't edit it, because I just wanted that noise to be, to be visible, because it gave it gives a different quality. I mean, rather than a very clear image of Taj Mahal, this gives a different kind of feeling with the noise. So once again, you can see the Yamuna River onto your right. Okay. And then once again, this is once again, this Taj Mahal. I took it from the river, like got into that. Okay. So this is from the boat. Again, it's the smog and fog gives a different different clarity to this picture with the noise and smog. This is a place called Fatehpur Sikri. This is a little away from Agra. This was the this was a capital during Mughal Empire. During Akbar's period, I think 15th century, and then later abandoned due to, I think, water supply issues. But the structure is very similar to Agra Fort, Taj Mahal, made out of red sandstone. Took this picture through this one of those passages. I just wanted to frame this building as it is, through those archways. And it's the entire structure is built out of a red sandstone. A beautiful structure. Once again, very, very unique to this Mughal Empire. This is once again, it's in Old Delhi. This is called Qutub Minar. It's I think it's referred to as a Victory Tower. So it's once again, this is also a UNESCO heritage site. I think it was built in 1200 or 1200 and some, yeah, 1200, early 1200. It's the tallest minaret in the world, like, you know, built out of bricks. It's the entire structure is built out of bricks. Once again, very similar to the Fatehpur Sikri, the Mughal structure, because it's once again it's made out of red sandstone. Now, the reason I took this picture is, like, you know, this shows the ancient structure, the tallest minaret, and something modern, where you can see because the Delhi airport is, Indira Gandhi airport is in close proximity, so you get a lot of flights taking that route. So I waited for this, you know, to take a flight along with this structure, because it shows the ancient structure as well the modern mode of transportation. This is another tomb. It's called Idmad ud Dawla. Now, this is a tomb of grandfather of Mumtaz, who is Shah Jahan's wife, to whom the Agra, the Taj Mahal was built. This is her grandfather. This is the inspiration for Shah Jahan to build Taj Mahal. This is, I think, this is called as the this was built before Taj Mahal, and once again, it's a Mughal structure, a beautiful structure, a unique structure, and not not often visited by many, because it's off Agra. I really like this structure because it's made out of marble and red sandstone. It's very, very beautiful structure, very close to Agra city. And this is another landmark, the Delhi Jama Masjid. I think this is the largest mosque in India. And once again, the same Mughal type construction were made out of red sandstone. Now, this place is kind of very popular among locals. Especially, it's crowded during Fridays and weekends, because it's kind of it's a religious place, but you see all people from all religious beliefs, because it's a gathering place for many, and around this mosque, you get all these shops, you know, food outlets, street food. So it's basically it's always crowded. So this is this picture I took at, I think, around 6 o'clock during the sunset. Yeah, and once again, because of the fog and smog, the sun is not very, the sun light is not, the glare is not there. I mean, it's I think it's the time for prayers, so it was crowded with people. So I just it was beautiful because the birds were the pigeons were flying around. So I took this picture, and I think it shows shows the size of the structure along with the people. And of course, this is now this is a lady. This is at Taj Mahal once again. I think she was waiting for someone, and I took that opportunity to capture her, because the Taj Mahal, part of Taj Mahal was behind. It came out nicely. I had to do a little bit of cropping here, because there were people walking around, so I had to do a little bit cropping on the edges. Other than that, nothing much of editing once again. This is, of course, I think a homeless person. I think he was. I think this is from Fatehpur Sikri. He was in a very relaxed mood. So with the background, I think that this is once again that old structure. The background gave a nice contrast to this individual. So managed to take a shot like this. He's in a very relaxed mood, I think, daydreaming. And this is once again the Jama Masjid, the people waiting for the prayers. The dusk, the evening light was coming through this arch. Some of them were tired of waiting. Some of them were sleeping, and it's a kind of a area where people gather. So a lot of activities going around. People, children playing. People reciting, praying, and chatting. So interesting place. Interesting place. Okay, next we'll move to Bruges in Belgium. One of it's it's referred to as Venice of North. I think they call it Venice of. They call it Venice of North. It's pronounced as Bruges. Now, this history of Bruges goes to, I think, 1100 AD. The beauty still remains. The structure is still same, very much similar to Venice. A lot of canals, a lot of old structure, a lot of old buildings. Even the lanes are paved lanes, so not much of traffic. Not many vehicles can be found. Now, this was one of the this was the city, part of the city. Once again, it was very early in the morning. Now, when you look at these pictures, most of my captures were during early morning to avoid avoid people, the crowded places. So this was taken on a winter day or winter morning around 6 o'clock, very early in the morning. That's why the roads are very empty. The water is very calm. Now it's because of the structure, the architecture, the canal. It's one of those most photogenic cities. This is once again same time, a different location. Now I just wanted to get these tree branches on the foreground to make it a little more attractive. Now once again the calm water gives a perfect reflection. No editing, nothing, no edited, just made it black and white. This is this place is called as Beguinage. So I think pronounced as Beguinage. Like this was initially I think occupied by women, single women or widowed women during initially in 11th century, but now it's a convent occupied by Benedictine nuns, I think, and this is called a most silent place in Bruges. Now, all the other places, even with the tourists around, now this is less crowded and it's very quiet. You are not allowed to talk louder. So this is one of the most silent locations in Bruges. Of course, the trees, the wood in front of this the structure makes it more attractive. So the structure is very old. And then I took this picture keeping the trees on the foreground, and this is a windmill. There are 4 windmills in Bruges. This is one of those windmills. Once again, I always wanted to frame this with the foliage. So the of course, since it's winter, the leaves, there are no leaves in the trees, so it gives a eerie feeling with these weird trees, the branches, too many branches, empty, and it looks haunted. So that's why I kept the trees on the foreground. rather than taking a picture of the windmill, without anything on the foreground. Now, this is the beauty of Bruges. Now, the most of the lanes, now you don't virtually see the cars, many vehicles. In some of the lanes, it's not allowed to drive vehicles. So you get this horse carriages, and this is one of those lanes. Once again, it's very early in the morning. That's why the street is empty. Otherwise, Bruges is one of those crowded place, a very famous tourist attraction, the city. Once again, this is very early. This is the advantage of getting onto the road very early. The structure is very attractive, and of course, it's preserved. The town is very well preserved since it's UNESCO listed under UNESCO heritage. Even those street lights, the design is very the very ancient design, though now it's replaced with electrical bulbs. Initially they were lamps. It was lamps. Now this place is called almshouses, once again Bruges. Now this is I think it's built in during 14th century or something by the wealthy families for the homeless, poor and sick. Now still the Bruges, the government maintains it, and it's given for unemployed and poor people, and no rent is charged. And the structure is a very old structure, 14th century structure. This is the tower is called Belfry Tower. That's in the Bruges Square, the city center, city square. Now, once again, this is around 7 o'clock in the morning, 6 to 7 o'clock in the morning on a winter day. Very cold, of course, but I just wanted to once again, it's the structure, it's the architecture which makes it very unique. The Bruges. Now this tower is, I think, it's the heart of the city. Most of the people use bicycles, so you can see a lot of bicycles are being parked on side of the road. This is one of the most photographed locations in Bruges. It's called. I took this shot from the Bonifacius Bridge, which is one of the most popular spot. Looking towards these ancient the canal and these old vintage houses. Now, this is a very popular scene in Bruges. The horse carriages, mostly they take you on a tour around the city on this. Very popular, a usual scene. And it goes well with the architecture, the background of the city, because it looks real. It takes you back in time. Another street, once again, Bruges. Of course, this is a slow shutter shot, which I do night shots a lot. I'm a very fan of a slow shutter. This is I think probably very late in the night, probably around 11 o'clock, probably around 11 o'clock, 12 o'clock. So this is a slow shutter. I think probably the slow shutter speed was like 15 seconds, capturing the silky effect of the the waterway and the lights, the lighting. Usual scene in Bruges, bicycles and the whole structure. This is another slow shutter, night, empty street, probably very late in the night, so no one's around. So I normally I utilize this the time, the late night to take slow shutter, which is you see a very different picture when it comes to slow shutter. I mean, okay, let's move to Paris. It's once again winter, December, a very foggy day. drizzling. So you can see the floor is wet. Managed to take this shot. I want to take this shot because it's only the Eiffel Tower you can see partially visible, and the fog covers the top part of it, and then the movement of people. It gives it came out nicely, and even the city is partially visible. Those buildings are very covered with fog. And the reflection gives a better composition. It was a good composition, and then I decided to put it on black and white. So this is one of those early morning shots, and this is another landmark in Paris, the Sacré-Cœur, the Basilica of the Sacred Heart of Paris, I think, commonly known as Sacré-Cœur, a very popular landmark in Paris. I think this is the second most visited monument in Paris. It's on a mountain. So this was once again late night. The gates were closed. So I came down and then put the camera on tripod and took it through the fence. Nothing cropped. You can barely see this. There are a few tourists around. It's late night, just almost when they close it around 9 o'clock or something. So it's almost at that time I took this shot, which clearly shows the structure, and since it's a very it's on the high elevated place, you don't see anything. You don't see the city in your background. Otherwise, the Paris is it's full of lights. So this is the only way you can avoid the light. This is called Arc de Triomphe. This is on the famous Champs-Élysées road street, and this is once again taken at around in the night with the street lights on. It's always crowded, mostly tourists. You can see people taking selfies, photographs, and it's most of them are tourists. Of course, the street lights and the reflection gave it a nice feeling. This is another the same structure from the Champs-Élysées. Now you can't this Champs-Élysées, one of those popular streets in Paris. To see celebrities. The place is full of branded outlets. You can see a lot of celebrities, Hollywood actors. The famous street, famous landmark. I took it from the middle the island. This is once again the Paris, the boat tour along the famous cathedral Notre Dame. This is before the destruction in 2019, before the fire broke out. This is once again the Notre Dame. I took it in late evening when the street lights are on. Just a random click to show the activities in front of Notre Dame, and it shows the structure as well with the with the street lights on. And this is the particular the structure which was burned down during the fire in I think April 2019. So it's still being constructed. So I'm lucky to capture this before the fire. This particular area. This is all gone now. This the tower. It's all gone. It's made out of wood. It's all gone now. Again, the Eiffel Tower at night, a slow shutter. probably 15 seconds. Luckily, the vehicles were stopped for a while at the color lights. Otherwise, there would be there would have been a movement of vehicles, and it would have been less sharper. So I think it's a 10-second, 15-second slow shutter shot. Because the Eiffel towers, always they have these lights on. You can on top you can see that rotating light as well. It's you can see this. Okay, there's a light always rotates. This is the full view of Notre Dame. Same time, once again, it's during December, foggy day. This is the tower, which is no more. The roof is completely destroyed. This one is no more. It's burned down. I think it's under construction. This is all, the entire thing is made out of wood. So the roof and this part was completely destroyed. I'm lucky to have to capture this. I think it was in 2018. The famous pyramids in front of the museum, Musée du Louvre, where the famous portrait of Mona Lisa is exhibited, was the largest museum in the world. And this is a structure in front of the famous pyramids made out of glass. And the entrance the ticket counter is below the pyramids. Now, it was a rainy day. Once again, I was holding the umbrella and put it on the tripod to take a slow shutter. Of course, you will see the rain droplets on the lens. I didn't edit or anything. I just want to it gives a different effect. These rain droplets on the lens on the top here, and this part is also foggy because of the rain droplets. It was raining. And then once again, it's a slow shutter. I think 15 seconds. This is another landmark in Paris, the Pont Alexandre, the bridge, a famous bridge. Once again, again it's a slow shutter, 15-second shot. And this the building across the bridge is where the Napoleon's tomb is located, somewhere here. And the River Seine is underneath the bridge. This bridge is across the River Seine in Paris. Of course, when it comes to Paris, the street performers, you have plenty of street performers, street artists. But I don't take the homeless people as a policy. I don't take pictures of homeless people, but there are many homeless people. But street performers, of course, yes. This is one of the street performers. He was singing with his he was playing the guitar. Of course, you can see his guitar. The box contains contribution from people and the amp. And this is once again the street artist at the Sacré-Cœur, the church which I showed you previously. That place is very popular among tourists. And then behind the church, you have a place for artists. All these people are artists. Some of them most of them draw portraits using different medium. This guy is using charcoal. And there are hundreds of artists behind this place. A place not to be missed in Paris. Okay, let's move to Netherlands. When you speak about Netherlands, it's the windmills. Now, this is a place called Windmills. This is a place called Kinderdijk. There are 19 windmills, I think. There are altogether 19 windmills. These windmills are still functioning, but of course, these windmills were initially built to keep the low areas dry, to pump the water out of this place, because when the water fills up, this is the mechanism. They had to pump out the water to keep the low-lying areas dry. But of course, now the modern pumps are being used, but still these are functioning. A very beautiful site with I think 19 or 20 windmills, same place. Visited in 2018. Again, it was 2019 during April. Of course, once again, very much similar to Bruges, you have a lot of canals, bicycles, and windmills in Netherlands. Once again, it's Netherlands. It's a heritage steam railway line running from Hoorn, a place called Hoorn, to Medemblik, steam train, a 2-hour journey. Very interesting. Even the station is, this is at the Medemblik station. They are preparing for the return journey. The old station. It once again, this takes you back in time. It feels like old English movie with this steam train. This is the train which I traveled. Restored the old steam train, made in England. Made in England, yes. Another place in Netherlands, Holland. It's called Zandschans. Now, once again, there are I think 10 about 10 windmills still functioning, grinding. Some of them are used used as sawmills, and some of them are used as grinding mills, but still functioning. I wanted to keep this grass on the foreground to make it a different composition. Of course, this is Amsterdam, the canals of Amsterdam. Amsterdam is very popular. See, for bicycles, most of them, even the I think even the ministers take bicycle. Their mode of transportation is bicycle. Not many use cars. There are thousands of bicycles everywhere. On the side, you can see all the bicycle parked on the street. The famous the Basilica of Saint Nicholas is at the far end. The funniest thing about Amsterdam is the Basilica of Saint Nicholas is at the edge, and just behind the cathedral, the red light zone, and then once again I think they have legalized marijuana, so it stinks everywhere. I mean, you have a lot of foreigners. It's always crowded, Amsterdam. Not only for the tourist attraction, but it's also for this legalized marijuana. Okay, now let's go to Brussels. Now this structure is called Atomium. It's a very popular landmark once again in Brussels. Originally, I think it's constructed in 1950s for the Expo exhibition. It's made out of stainless steel. There are 9 spheres, and then it's a replica of iron crystal, magnified 165 billion times. Now this picture, I was below the structure, right below the structure, looking upwards. And then of course kept the tree branches on the foreground for a different kind of composition. This is called the Grand Place, the city square or growth market of Brussels. Now they boast this is the most beautiful square in the world, and of course it's true. It's very colorful. And even the structure is very, very beautiful. Of course, it's always crowded. A very, very popular attraction in Europe. And once again, it's a UNESCO heritage site. It's Brussels. I was walking to the Grand Place, the Market Square, from the hotel I was staying, and this structure is very unique because the road is a slope road, but the building is made in such a way to accommodate the slope. A very different architecture, very beautiful old structure. Of course, once again, street performers of Brussels. He was playing shallow. It was very late in the night. Of course, it was dark, and of course, I used the street light and on a high ISO. That's why there is, I think, the noise is visible. High ISO noise is there. So he was performing, and a lot of activities going around. Okay, this is once again Switzerland, Basel, an old city, very unique structure, typical Switzerland architecture. Now this is the river Rhine running through the Basel town, city of Basel. It's the architecture is unique, very unique to Switzerland, an old city. I used a tree branch on the foreground. This is a place called Metz in France. This is it's called Temple New, a Protestant church. And then the river runs through the town. It wasn't a very old city, not a very popular tourist area, tourist site. This is Cologne, German, and another landmark in the city of Cologne. It's called Hohenzollern Bridge, and the cathedral at the end of the bridge is called the Cologne Cathedral, and it's I think it's one of the very oldest cathedral in Europe. I think it took about 600 years, I think 6 centuries to complete the structure. At that time, I think 18th century, at that time, I think it was the tallest tower in the world. Now I think it's still one of the tallest cathedral in the world. Of course, it's a very, very crowded place, a very famous tourist attraction. I think it attracts around 6 million visitors per year, according to Wiki. And this is the river Rhine. The bridge, the Hohenzollern Bridge, is one of the most busiest railway bridges in the world. I think about 1,200 trains cross the bridge daily. So it's a very, very busy bridge. And of course, this is taken during the night, late night, slow shutter, using the available street lights. This is Luxembourg, a very old city, the old city of Luxembourg. Again, it's a slow shutter shot taken from the new city, which is on a higher level. Now, this old city is on the bottom, in the middle of the city, the new city. And of course, it's I used the available street lights to take this slow shutter, the long exposure shot. Let's now moving from landmarks. I want to share some characters from around the world. You know, wherever I travel, even from Sri Lanka, India, all over the place. So let's get some glimpse of characters around the world. Oops, sorry, it's not winter morning. This is in Kandy. This is in Dalada Maligawa. I saw him, walking very slowly. I think he was meditating or something. It's the pillars around him gave it a different, nice composition. So use this the background, and he was wearing white, so it was a good contrast. This is once again Sri Lanka. This is Red Mosque. Sorry, the winter morning is still appearing. Sorry, it's not winter morning. It's the Red Mosque in Peta. I think this gentleman is I think performing ablution before the prayers. I took it from the first floor through the beam slide to frame him between those grills. This is Nallur in Jaffna. Once again, very early in the morning. No one was around. Otherwise, usually it's a crowded place. Of course, it was very early in the morning. This lady, I think she is the one in charge of sweeping the place. So it was very, very early morning. You know, you can see the shadow. This is Jaipur, Ranthambore of Jaipur in India. A typical Indian village. You know, the typical village setup. Even their dress code is unique, traditional dress. Went to Ranthambore for safari. So during that time, I was walking around the place, you know, walking around the villages. So this particular gentleman in this cloth, you know, was interesting. So I just managed to grab a shot. This is of course Sri Lanka. Again, the structure and the contrasting figure. Now this is Kirimale in Jaffna. It was, I think, early January. I think they were pushing this chariot after the festival. So they were taking it back to the temple. So it was I think it was daytime. The sun glare is still there. You can see the shining, the glare of sun. And they were pushing it very hard. I mean, it was a bit, they were pushing it on a slope. This was captured last week, the Dawal Perhara after the last day of Perhara daytime. But it was the weather was severe rain. It was pouring down, so. It was all these shots were taken, one-handedly. I was holding the umbrella and then clicking using the 18 to 55 kit lens. And of course, see, it was very dark. I think this is about around 1 o'clock, but it was very dark. Even the sky was very, very dark, dark clouds. This was in Nigambu, one of our excursions, street photography excursion. This guy was running, and then I think it disturbed the crows, and they were flying all over. Of course, the sea water was red because all the process of dry fish is there. So all the blood and the blood was washed out to the sea, and so in fact the sea was red. This is in Jaffna, the Kirimale. The kids were enjoying their day out in the sea. Took it from that. It's called the Kirimale. It's kind of a I think bathing place. The sea water. This is sea water. So took it from I of course this kid he was doing this diving into the water, somersaulting, but I asked him to do it several times to get the shot I wanted. I think he did it about 3 or 4 times before I got this moment. This is again in Bamalapitiya in the Koil. I think on a festival day. Her hair was, all it was silver. It was reflecting against the sun. It was very contrasting against the backdrop, and of course the smoke from the fire. This is in Muscalia, one of those the tea pluckers. She was happy to pose for my camera, and just captured her. Little bit of cropping down. Of course, did it with the 1805 millimeter lens to get a bokeh background. This is once again last week at the SLA Barara. She was one of the dancers, and she was I think talking to someone, one of the spectators, probably her friends. So just clicked it at the right moment. Of course, you can see the rain droplets around. This is in Dalada Maligawa, early morning again. The sun was rising. She was looking towards Dalada Maligawa. Managed to capture this. I had to burn the background a bit because there were pillars behind her. So just wanted little burnt using Photoshop. So she stands out. Even her wrinkles and on the face and the hand is very visible. Again, at the temple, Bamlapitiya temple. I think this is once again on a festival day. This is at Peta during one of our street excursion. I saw this gentleman walking towards the camera. The glare was from behind, so giving that silhouette effect. A bit of an interesting face. He looked angry. I don't know. It was me who disturbed him. He was angry with. Again, it's Peta. One of those person who was selling flowers. It was an interesting face. A lot of wrinkles, a different character. This is again Dalada Maligawa. They were burning this what do you call Hanunku. So the smoke was partially covering the structure, and once again, I used this 105 millimeter lens to get that bokeh effect. This is in Jaipur. I think a newly married couple. A photographer is there. I think it was a still. So I managed to click this shot while they were running towards the cameraman. This is in Kandy. This before the Perhara people. These guys are crossing, going towards the starting point. It looked interesting with the white dress against the black drop, where the road. This is in Brussels, and I saw this old couple walking towards the center. So it just captured them. I think it's a nice picture. Show the affection between them. Of course, this gentleman was in walking sticks. I think she was helping him to walk. This is in India. Jama Masjid, he was worshipping. This is at Golface. It was interesting. This is, I think, one of the street excursions, the PSSL street excursions of street photography group. It was drizzling, and of course, a typical mother. The doesn't want her children to get wet. So I think she's standing in the rain, the drizzle, while they were holding the umbrella. PETA, one of those Natam is carrying carrots, I think, at the market. This is in Trinco. Once again, it was early in the morning. I was I think on a business trip, work related. Saw this on my way to the site, so grabbed the camera, took this shot from a low angle to give it a different perspective. They were pulling this net, and these guys, the one in the last person on the pulling the rope, he was I think he's he has only 1 foot, and then the other one is the Jaipur foot. This is inside Bambalapitiya temple, Bambalapitiya Kovil. He was playing this thing, the Mirudangam, and the strike of light through those grills managed to capture this. Of course, you can see a little. I put it on I think the slow shot a little to get enough light, and also to show the movement of his fingers. This is in Nigambu again. She was, I think, cleaning the fish for the dry fish process. So I think it's not easy to clean the fish, and she was pulling hard, and then her facial expression created a unique picture. This, I think, most of our guys would have seen it. He was of course a homeless person in front of the PETA railway. Of course, it was an interesting face. That's why I wanted to capture his face. But mostly, as a policy, I don't capture homeless people. This is, I just took a close-up shot of him because of his interesting face. This is at PETA station, a train once again. I'm a train enthusiast, so I take a lot of I take a lot of pictures of trains. This is, I think, an Anuradhapura train. She was, I think, sleeping with the light. The inside it was very dark, so it was a good contrast. Of course, these guys were reading on the road. It's in Colombo once again. It's in near the temple. This is in Rantambo village. This is a school. This is how the classes are conducted in that village, a very poor village. This is around 4 o'clock, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. I think their school time is, I think, goes till 4 o'clock in the evening. So I managed to capture this standing behind the teacher with his permission, of course. This is in Jaipur. These ladies were sweeping the road, and then they were taking a break, after sweeping the road, to have a, I think, interesting conversation. They didn't notice me, so I just stood right in front of them and took it. Little bit of cropping. This is in Agra, the Fatehpur Sikri. These guys are there, playing, the religious, chantings and songs, Qawwali songs. I think the entire day. So just captured them. This is in Bruges at city center, the city square. Saw this gentleman, probably a grandfather, and with his grandchild, enjoying an ice cream. it was interesting. They were really enjoying it. Took the shot from far away because most of them don't like to be photographed. So I used I think 300 millimeter lens, took it from a little far from this location, not in front of them. Thank you for watching. Hope you guys enjoyed it. Hope you guys enjoyed it. If you have any questions, you may ask. Thank you once again for PSSL, the president and committee too, for giving me the opportunity to share my travel photographs.